Yo, what is the deal? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. There is a lot going on right now. We got over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Send this thing out to all social media if you can. You know, I just linked this to Instagram. I didn't link it to Instagram today. I'm gonna link it to my Insta too from now on, so y'all can view us over at Instagram. What is the deal, everybody? Happy and healthy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Shout out to the King family. Shout out to the great Martin Luther King. And you know, I will be remiss without giving my my thanks and my praise to the great Martin Luther King, man. So shout out to Martin Luther King. Shout out to all the beautiful ladies at Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated. The sorority, it's their Founders Day. My wife happens to be an AKA, so shout out to her and all of them. And shout out, last but not least, to my brother, Graphic Raider. Happy 40th birthday. He has now entered the Get Off My Lawn gang ethos. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate it, baby.
Can't forget that sorority incorporated.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I had to shout you out, baby. Yeah, hey, my wife's happy birthday, Graf. But yo, my brother Graphic Raider is 40. He is now an official member of the Get Off My Lawn gang. I bought him a diamond encrusted walker. So now he is an old man officially, man. Shout out to my brother Graf, man. Hey, but yo, let me give my shout outs and salutations to everybody in the chat. My brother David Zorn. Yo, shout out to you. My guy Martin, Gorell Webster, first, never last. Will Thompson, my brother Martin from way across the pond. Chip Cheerio. George Larson, Raider Nation. And George Larson has just jumped the line, and we're going to get into it today, y'all. We got a lot of things to get into. Kliff Kingsbury to Vegas would be lit. I take back my Bangkok jokes when he got fired. Yo, listen to me, y'all. There is a lot going on right now, man. Kliff Kingsbury has been linked to the Raiders. Now, today, on Colin Cowherd's show, The Herd, on Fox Sports Network, and we're gonna go and we're gonna share this to y'all. They linked Kliff Kingsbury coming over and being our offensive coordinator if Antonio Pierce gets hired as Raiders head coach. And I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I think now more than ever, I'm 98% sure that Antonio Pierce is going to be the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. You know what I'm saying? But right now, let me pull this article up on heavy.com. Shout out to heavy.com. We will be working with them in the future. The Las Vegas Raiders haven't started getting serious about their head coaching search yet, so they say. But it's looking like interim head coach Antonio Pierce is the favorite to get the job, while Pierce is impressed with how well the defense was once he took over. It finished 23rd in points per game. If he gets the head coaching job, who he hires as offensive coordinator will be very important. According to the report from Fox Sports, Colin Cowherd, it appears that a favorite has emerged. If Pierce gets the job, keep an eye on Kliff Kingsbury as offensive coordinator. I have a source that told me that Kliff Kingsbury is his likely offensive coordinator if he gets the job, Cowherd said today on The Herd. Now, everybody, Colin Cowherd is a guy who, he says a lot. He's a hot take artist, but I don't think that they would just erroneously throw this report out. And it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. And I'm going to tell you why. Kliff Kingsbury checks almost every single box of what I wanted for an offensive coordinator when we discussed this early this season. Shout out to the almost 300 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. What I wanted someone who had previous head coaching experience. I also wanted someone who was innovative, who came from a great family tree of coaches. Kliff Kingsbury checks all those boxes. Kliff Kingsbury was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, as you well know. He had an 11-0 season for a while, and then kind of crapped the bed and start losing a bunch of them, and they finished second in the NFC West. I was about to say the AFC West. I say it so much, but yes, Kliff Kingsbury, y'all. I mean, what do y'all think? What is everybody thinking? And Kliff Kingsbury comes from the Mike Leach family tree. Mike Leach is one of the proprietors of the air raid offense in college football. That was a hell of an offense, man. A hell of an offense, man. We've seen some powerful teams down at Texas Tech all those years. Back in the day with freaking, Michael Crabtree and them down there. They put up a lot of points down at Texas Tech, man. So, and it's come to the National Football League and it's worked in the National Football League as well. So this is the kind of offense, the innovative kind of offense that we want to actually bring to our Raiders. I'm going to break down some of the finer points of the air raid offense a little bit after this. But what we're going to do is let me bring up some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I want to bring up a few things, man, about Kliff Kingsbury, right? Look into his record. I'll give you guys a full picture of what's going on. So Kliff Kingsbury, in his 4 seasons as head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, was 5-10 his first season, was 8-8 in 2020, was 11-6 in 2021. That was the year I was pointing to, right? And the year he got fired, he was 4-13. Now, let's look at some of the team ranks during that time. Now, offensive passing yards. Let's look. This is kind of hard for me to see, y'all, so I hope you guys can see it as well. You know what I mean? 2019, 32 teams. Win-loss 25th. Win-loss 14. Win-loss, they were 7th in the league. And they were 30th in the league in 2022. Points per game, they were 23rd his first year. They were 13 in 2020. They were 9 in 2021. And that's the year that I really want to focus on because that shows you the potential of what that offense can do with the Kliff Kingsbury. Points, offensive yardage, they were 8th. They were 6th in yardage in 2020. So that kind of like hovers around where you would expect this offense to be if you had weapons, man. Rushing offense, 10th, 7th. I mean, look, passing offense, 10th, 17th. And, the defense, we're not going to worry about the defense. Now, Kliff Kingsbury started out, coaching at Houston. He played there. He actually was a quality control guy, QB coach, 2010. Became the head coach at Texas Tech. Was there for about 5 years. Had a really good record there. And was a head coach in the National Football League for 4 years. So Kliff Kingsbury is the kind of offensive coordinator that, to be real with you, I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for, a guy with that level of experience, y'all. Let me get to some of these comments. Let me get some of these supers, man. Shout out to everybody in the room. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. And another thing about Kliff Kingsbury, which is a very, very, very integral part of him, he has had a hand in developing some not great quarterbacks, but very good quarterbacks, and one great one. Kliff Kingsbury was the guy who helped develop Patrick Mahomes. He helped develop Kyler Murray, and he helped develop Baker Mayfield. So Kliff Kingsbury is the guy that you definitely want to bring in if you were to go out and move up and try to. And he also had an integral part in helping to develop Caleb Williams as well. So this is a guy that you definitely want to bring in. My guy, Joe Capito Ramos, with the $10 holler. Wasted. I'm sold on AP being a head coach. If his first choice for OC is a modern offensive mind like Kliff Kingsbury, then you know he means business. Also, shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King, man. Shout out to my brother Joe, man. My guy Raider Squid, shout out to Squid, man. Squid, where you been, bro? Scout just posted, Champ is expected to be our GM. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Scout didn't land on Plymouth Rock with that. And I'm going to get into it. Now, listen, guys. My guy, Raider John, man. Shout out to my brother, Raider John, man. Happy King's Day, my brother. Keep inspiring, bro. If I am inspiring, bro, I appreciate that, brother. But shout out to you, Raider John, man. One of the goats in this Raider YouTube thing, man. Shout out to you, man. I love hearing your takes from the car and everything, my brother. My guy, Albert Jr. What's good, Wasted? Been with you and Grab since the jump. Love y'all's content. Just hired the man AP, Mark. He's definitely showed us that he's a leader. He's definitely also changed the culture. Raider Nation full life. My brother Jersey Stokes is in the place to be. Wayne Curl. Nick Telewicks, where the hell you been? Nick, where you been? Al Apocalypse is in the place to be. Now, guys, I'm going to tell y'all something. Now, Raider Scout kind of stole my thunder here. Shout out to Raider Scout. But I want to show y'all something, man. And I'm looking for it right now, man. Today, at the Martin Luther King Day Parade in Las Vegas, this was an image. Now, if you guys can see, I know that's a little janky. You know what I mean? Like it tends to get over here, Raider Nation Unlimited. We're going to upgrade the look here in the coming weeks. But that is Richard Seymour, a guy that is closely working with Mark Davis in the coaching search and hire. That's Antonio Pierce. And that is one Champ Kelly at the Martin Luther King Day Parade in Las Vegas. And they are representing the Raiders today. Now, to be quite honest with you, I can't see a team allowing somebody that they're not going to hire to represent them in the media like that. Now, I got a clip of, Antonio Pierce talking at said parade, and it kind of looked like he let he spilled the beans a little bit, so to speak. He said, when we get this thing all wrapped up, I'll let y'all hear it. I'm going to pull it up a little later, but we're going to get into it. Now, the reason why I think things are progressing and moving very fast is because the Raiders are bringing in tomorrow for an interview one Leslie Frazier. Now, Leslie Frazier was a member of the Chicago Bears as a player in the great 85 Bears defense. Leslie Frazier has, been all over the National Football League as far as the defensive coordinator. His last defensive coordinator job was with the Buffalo Bills. He left last year because he was having some philosophical differences with McDermott, and he's kind of been out there. He went into that head coaching kind of training. He's been a head coach for the Minnesota Vikings. He took the Minnesota Vikings to the playoffs the last time he was their head coach. But they are bringing Leslie Frazier in for an interview tomorrow. We got over 400 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted, tell a friend to tell a friend. Run this thing all the way up to the sky. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think that Leslie Frazier is coming in the interview for the Raiders job for two reasons. One, if we lost Patrick Graham, which I don't see that happening, he's a guy that would probably be on a short list of candidates to come in because he is from that Marvin Lewis, Dennis Green, Tony Dungy coaching tree. Also, Leslie Frazier checks another box, and I'm going to be for real with you, and I'm just going to be straight up. He checks the Rooney Rule box. Now, even though Antonio Pierce and Champ Kelly are both African-American or black, so should I say, you know what I'm saying? You have to interview a minority candidate from outside of the organization. And I think that's one of the reasons why they interviewed the woman from the front office with the Denver Broncos. It's good for her to get interview experience. It's good for Leslie Frazier to get interview experience. It's good for his name to be out there in the media to show that he's looking for a head coaching job and being considered for one. Because perception is reality in the National Football League. Man, I'm dehydrated as hell. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me get to some of these chats, man. Damn, I am so behind, man. Big Lil Bosco. Was Kingsbury rushing offense due to Murray scrambling, or was his offense running back friendly? I would say it was running back friendly because Jonathan Connor had one of his best seasons in the National Football League. And then even in college, you know what I mean? Even in college, they did pretty well. So I would say that it's the offense, man. My guy, what's up, Supreme? Hire AP and Champ and go from there. AP just feels like a Raider. He just seems like he is us. And that's a fact, bro. I've been feeling that same way, man. My brother, Cicinero said, there is no such thing as an effing equinox. The F out of here, Graf. You're about to be unceremoniously blocked on your birthday. Unceremoniously. The F is wrong with you. There was no, who the F put the Equinox in here? Is that Robinson Cisneros, man?
Shut your lame ass up, man.
It's right. The F out of here. It's right. The red zone was bread and butter in Connor. That's right. That's a fact, man. They were scoring a lot of freaking points, man. Salute to my brother Graf, man. Now, there is another part of this that we got to look into too. Kliff Kingsbury is like this with Caleb Williams. Now, I would be remiss to say that the connection between Caleb Williams, him not wanting to play for the Chicago Bears, that's already been out there in the media. That is not conjecture. That is a fact. Caleb Williams does not want to play for the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears have the number 1 pick. Champ Kelly being our GM who came from the Chicago Bears. Kliff Kingsbury, if he is our offensive coordinator, having the connection to Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams being one of those kind of guys who wants to have that connection in the National Football League. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I can see the Raiders moving all the way up to number 1, trying to go get Caleb Williams. I can see it right now, man. I can see it right now. My guy, Rudy the Vet Russo, keeping the lights on at Raider Nation Unlimited. Shout out to my brother, Rudy the Vet, man. Wasted. What's your take on Mad Max? I say he just wants greatness. If you already addressed this, my bad. I'm late. Hotep and Bill, Raider Nation. Shout out to my brother, Rudy the Vet Russo. Yeah, look, the other day, I addressed this, but I have no problem with Max Crosby voicing his opinion. Now, a lot of people will say, well, why did he do it behind the scenes? And what I'll say to that is, how do we know that Max Crosby didn't address it behind the scenes? How do we know that he didn't address it behind the scenes the last time the Raiders was in this situation? I feel like Max Crosby's always been a good soldier to the Raiders, and I feel like he's always represented this organization, at the highest level. He gives the maximum effort. He's a culture changer. He's a trendsetter. And I don't think, Max Crosby is a guy that you could just say, oh, we'll get rid of him. It's not about him being over the shield, right? Because he's not being over the shield. I think by him holding Mark Davis's feet to the fire, I look at it as being a Raider and saying, yo, I'm committed to excellence. I want to win. And I feel like me being in this locker room, I'm telling you what we need to win, Mark. And I'm going to tell the world what we need to win. Give us AP and we'll deliver. And I'm going to be honest with you. J.J. Watt said this, man. And I think he pretty much kind of touched on everything that I was thinking with this whole AP thing. Look, I know Jim Harbaugh is a great coach. I will never sit up here in this air and lose credibility with y'all and tell y'all that Jim Harbaugh is not a great coach. He is an excellent coach. And anybody who has him will be lucky to have a Jim Harbaugh. But for us and these Raiders, I think AP is his time now. And a lot of the times, ever since I've been a Raider fan and ever since you guys have been Raider fans, right? We have always been the place where people could resurrect their career, right? We've always been the place where we go get, chicken shit and we turn it into chicken salad. We've all seen the Raiders go out there and resurrect people's careers, people to have their second win here. But you know what? It's time for the Raiders to establish something new. And it's time for the Raiders to go and go and get the coach that's going to take us into the future instead of always trying to look back and get somebody that's on the way down. How about going and bringing somebody that's on the way up? How about us being the ones who discover the next great coach in the National Football League? Our coach. And guess what? If it doesn't work out, then not one person can sit up here and have any credibility in a year or two and say, I never wanted Antonio Pierce, because we fucking all wanted him. Even people who are more partial to Jim Harbaugh will all tell you that, yo, I like AP. And if we keep him, I'm cool with that. Fucking probably 80 to 90% of the people out there. So none of us can come out here and say that we didn't want him and it was a bad decision. That's bull. It's bull. So I'm going to address that. I'm going to put a pin in that because I talked about that before. But shout out to my brother, Rudy the Vet Russo, with the $10 holler, keeping the lights on and the place to be, man. Shout out to you. Thank you for always supporting the channel, my brother. Rudy the Vet Russo, again, great minds think alike. I agree. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. I appreciate you, my brother. We got almost 600 in the room, y'all. Got almost 600 in the room. Now, listen, man. We're talking about Caleb Williams. right? Now, the Chicago Bears are definitely in play. Now, I saw a report today with Mel Kiper Jr. throwing baloney against the wall and seeing if it stick, talking about he thinks that, the Chicago Bears can get a number 1 pick for Justin Fields, right? He had the Atlanta Falcons being the one to move up and get Justin Fields. But see, the thing about it is this. The Chicago Bears already have multiple number 1 picks, right? Thing about number 1 picks, it's great to be able to pick guys that high, right? But the problem is you have to know, and guys, and I'm going to say this, and I heard Mel Kiper Jr. with his own mouth talking about, what it would take for the Atlanta Falcons to get Justin Fields. I'm going to be for real with you. The Chicago Bears having 3 first-round picks is a good thing and it's a bad thing, because if you don't pick right, you study wrong, you study long. You got to pay them first-round money, and it's harder to separate yourself from a bust first-round draft pick, right? Also, I think the Chicago Bears, being that they kept Ryan Poles and they kept Eberflus, I think that the Chicago Bears are committed to Justin Fields. The same way that Raider Nation is up here capping for freaking AP, the Chicago Bears fan base wants Justin Fields back. They want Justin Fields back. And I'm telling you right now, guys, so do not be surprised if the Chicago Bears are in business. And if the Bears are in business, the Raiders must move up and go get that pick. To me, that's the most direct line to success. It really is, man. It really, really is. Let me get to some of these comments in here, man. Yo, shout out to y'all. The business is booming today, man. You guys are in. We got almost 600 in the room. Get wasted with your brother Wasted, man. Yo, my guy Los, he said Jaden Daniels has that glow like Bruce Leroy. We gonna get into the Jaden Daniels thing too. My guy, Supreme, AP has the right mentality, the right skill, the buy-in from the players and the fan base and others. Just feels like it's right. Like you're right, guy. It feels right too, bro. Bro, I've never felt this strongly about us hiring a coach. I've never felt this strongly in my life as a Raider. I've never felt this strongly about us hiring a coach. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. And to be honest with you, guys, I'm gonna put this out there. I don't think that it's a slam dunk that Jim Harbaugh is coming to the National Football League. If you look at it, Jim Harbaugh right now is in a position where he can go back to Michigan and repeat as a national champion. He has a more direct line to the national title because of some of the realignment that's going on. I think the SEC becoming this big super conference and having Texas and, and Oklahoma and all that, I think that is going to be great. It's going to be a great conference, but what's going to wind up happening is it's going to be like Lord of the Flies. They're going to eat their own in the SEC. You're going to have a lot of 2 and 3 lost teams in the SEC. And I think what's going to happen is Jim Harbaugh is going to have a huge, huge advantage by winning that national title, especially with the transfer portal, and especially Jim Harbaugh actually having the gateway to all of those players in the Midwest and in the Northeast. There's a lot of talent there, bro. And one thing that kind of took me back a little bit was the fact that Jim Harbaugh has taken his first interview today with the Chargers. And this is what I've been saying the whole time. I think it is way more urgent for the Chargers to hire Jim Harbaugh than it is for us to hire him. And I think the Chargers are going to give him a record-setting contract. A record-setting contract. I mean, a disgustingly record-setting contract. And I think the Raiders at this point really need to consider how much money are you willing to be bought into for a head coach? When you already have a guy to a man from the legends in the organization, to the media, to the fan base, to the players, from one all the way down. The plaques are everybody is in. It's an idiot-proof decision. Now, Wayne Kerr says the Chargers owners are cheap. Let me tell you something. That getting Jim Harbaugh for the calamity and all of the talent the Chargers have is a small price to pay. I think the Spanos family understands that now. They understand that now. They have a young quarterback that they've paid now. They have a bunch of talented players that they've paid. They're in salary cap hell. They are rudderless. They need a Jim Harbaugh. They need it. And a lot of people are saying to me, hey, Wasted, do you want to face Jim Harbaugh? And do you want to face Andy Reid? And do you want to face Sean Payton? And what I say to you, bring them on. I ain't afraid of none of them, bro. I ain't afraid of nothing. And I think scared money don't make no money, bro. Scared money. Maybe we got the young, bright guy in the AFC West now. It's all about developing the quarterback, developing the roster, and having a defense that can stop them and go toe-to-toe with them. That is what it is all about. And this is the thing that nobody's talking about. All of those men are over 60 years old. I think Harbaugh's over 60. I'm almost certain Jim Harbaugh's over 60 years old. But I know Sean Payton and Andy Reid are. These guys aren't getting any younger, man. They're not getting any younger. They're not getting any younger. And if the Raiders build this defense the right way, we can be the juggernauts that go in there and knock them on their faces like the effing jabronis that they are. Jabronis. My guy, Darth Raider. Bring him on. F him. Damn right. You're damn right. Travis Spaulding. Harbaugh is going to get a taste of that cap issue and go turn and tail back to college. He might. He might welcome the challenge as well. And this is the thing. What you have to look at is the Washington Redskins. Commanders, I'm old. Excuse me. No offense to anybody. But the Commanders are a team that you have to keep your eye on. There is the San Francisco connection with Peterson as the GM. You have Magic Johnson. You have Bob Myers. You have some smart people who want to make a splash. They have the second pick in the draft. They have a great cap situation. They have talent on the defensive side of the football. They have talent on the offensive side of the football. The Washington Redskins really, God, I got to stop saying the Redskins. The Washington Commanders remind me a lot of that old 2011 San Francisco 49er team. Very, very much. Very much. Tomb Raider. Harbaugh wife said Vegas. Happy wife, happy life. If he take the job in LA, his home. Bro, look. His wife has been a coach's wife her whole marriage. She knows what it is. She's been a football wife. She knows what it is. Jim was a journeyman quarterback. Jim was with the Bears, the Colts. He was all over. She knows what it is, brother. Just because she is from Las Vegas does not mean that she's totally sold on Las Vegas. Nobody has really gotten a real quote from Jim Harbaugh's wife, as far as I know. I could be wrong. If you guys can show me that quote, let me know if I'm wrong or not. Let me know. My guy, DTG, with the $5 holler. If the Raiders don't win, it doesn't matter who the head coach is. It's on the players. Listen, bro, there is a symbiotic kind of a relationship between good coaching and talented players. It all matters, right? The thing about it is that if you don't have one, you're not going to have the other. Because if you got shitty players, the coaches are going to look that great. And if you got a dumb coach, the great players are going to look that great. And I think that with Antonio Pierce, I think that if we go out there, and this is what the most important part of this is, picking the right GM. So when I hear a name like Kliff Kingsbury, which I was against before, because I didn't think that Kliff Kingsbury was going to be able to come back to the National Football League because of how much money the Arizona Cardinals, I thought it was going to be an issue with that. Apparently I was wrong, right? So Kliff Kingsbury, when I look at it, he checks all the boxes, right? And Kliff Kingsbury coming and bringing derivatives of the air raid offense is something that I am very, very excited about. I'm very, very excited about. Now, see, this is the thing with the air raid offense. The air raid offense, man, is like the QBs calling the plays, attacking the defensive weakness at the line, right? So we would have to have a young quarterback that is able to process, i.e. a Michael Penix Jr., i.e. Caleb Williams, right? Play at warp speed, the huddle tempo, And it's constant formation shifts. There's a lot of movement, very, very complicated. And one of the main principles of the air raid offense is throwing the ball short to playmakers in space who could score, right? So think about Tucker. That's one of them guys you would want to get the ball to in space, right? Then, you know what I'm saying? If you have issues and you have a light box, you check to the run. So having a Josh Jacobs, which is a free agent, if you were to bring him back, once you see that light box from spreading everything out, you go to the line of scrimmage, you check to a run, you give Josh a draw and let him cook. And that is the reason why it is a decent offense for the run game too. And it's also great in the red zone. It's a great red zone offense, man. So what you do is you make the defenses defend sideline to sideline. Now, see, the thing is you're utilizing the up-tempo part of the offense. Now, this is the thing about the air raid offense, and I forgot about the air raid offense. I forgot, what Mike Leach and them used to run back in the day. This is not something that Kliff Kingsbury came up with. He was a guy who played in his offense and kind of revolutionized it. But this is Mike Leach, his offense. And actually, I remember back in the day, this offense was run in the USFL. Man, what the hell was that coach's name, man? Because, look, I know Norm Chow and all of them. This is something that kind of was derived from old BYU. God damn it. What was that coach's name, bruh? It's going to come back to me, man. But Norm Chow and all of them at BYU, they went and they were picking apart a lot of the old run and shoot concepts. So, this offense is something that has evolved from back then. Mouse Davis back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember Mouse Davis in the run and shoot. The Houston Oilers used to run the run and shoot offense. The Atlanta Falcons and Jerry Glanville, when Prime and them were there, Scott Miller and all them guys, they used to run the run and shoot offense. So it's a very, very potent passing offense, man. A very potent pass. Actually, the Detroit Lions ran the run and shoot when Barry Sanders was there, which was crazy, man. But yeah, man. I mean, Mike Leach had a lot of undersized slot receivers, playing the H position. And the H position was that like short guy in space, the small guy in space that can get it done. Now, Wes Welker was a guy who played in this offense. So if you guys want to think, you know what I mean? That's the kind of offense we're talking about. And I know Bill Belichick used a lot of that stuff too, man. But when Mike Leach took this thing, he took this thing over and he revolutionized it, man. He revolutionized it. I'm trying to remember the freaking coach who came up with this shit, man. Yeah, Coach DC. Yes, Air Coryell. Yes, he remembers. Yo, we got over 700 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Daniel Cabs Keenan. Wasted. I bet half of the people in here that's not Get Off My Lawn Club never heard of the Oilers. I know, man. Wasted granddad, y'all. Listen, man. I'm trying to teach you guys about the air raid offense. It was the run and shoot, Jim Spinelli. You had the running gun and a receiver, but yeah, that's right, Air Coryell. So there's a lot of this. This is a lot of what Don Coryell started. And if you guys realize something, Don Coryell and Al Davis worked together. So you guys got to understand something. There is a lot. It all comes full circle back to the old man Al. All comes full circle, man. It all comes full circle. Let me get to some of these chats here. My guy, Orlando, High Stakes, Padilla. AP to the rest of the AFC West, head coach. Bring it. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yo, my guy, Doc Convict 12. MLK/NWA/Pierce, Seymour Champ. Straight up gangster shit. Ain't it though? Ain't it though? I love it, man. I fucking love it, man. My guy, DTG. If the Raiders don't win, it doesn't matter who the head coach is. It's on plays. And I read this one before. Sorry, DTG. But I'm going to put it up again. It's all good, brother. My guy, Stevie Ray. Is this the one and only Stevie Ray? Is this the great Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat? Sucker? My guy, Stevie Ray. Hey, Wasted. You thinking we get Justin Fields? You think he could thrive in the air raid offense? Yes, I think Justin Fields is a smart kid. I think he's the kind of player that if he has the right coach that can acquiesce to his skill set, he would do phenomenal. See, the thing about Kyler Murray, and it's the thing, Kyler Murray did great in that offense. Kyler Murray is very, very accurate. People don't realize how Kyler Murray is when people were thinking that the Arizona Cardinals were going to move on for Kyler Murray, the only thing that I think Caleb Williams has over Kyler Murray is height. I don't think that Caleb Williams, like everybody's saying, and I like Caleb Williams, right? Everybody's saying that Caleb Williams is a top 3 prospect in the last 20 years. People are saying it's Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, and Caleb Williams. And I personally don't see Caleb Williams in that rarefied air of a Peyton Manning and an Andrew Luck. I don't see that. I think that Kyler Murray is a better prospect than Caleb Williams, minus the height. Kyler Murray is phenomenal. And I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but Kyler Murray is phenomenal. He is box office. And if Kyler Murray has protection, watch the fuck out. I'm telling you right now, man. Watch out. My guy, DeMarcus Webb. Renfro would eat an offense like that, but his contract is problematic. The problem with Renfro is Renfro will eat until he doesn't. Hunter Renfro is a turnover machine, bro. You can't have a Hunter Renfro on this team at this point, bro. We're trying to play mistake-free football and win football games. I think Hunter Renfro has never been the same since he got the Sonic rings knocked out of him in Arizona, if I'm being honest. And it's ironic we're talking about a guy who was coaching that team at that time, right? You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Justin Fields is very, very, very talented, man. And I think people don't give that kid enough credit. Brian Corbin, smoking D&D with Kyler Murray, bro. Hell no. Brian, I see you all the time, brother. We got to agree to disagree. Kyler Murray is phenomenal, bro. Like you guys I don't know what you're looking at, but that boy's phenomenal. If his head is in the game and he's on the field, Kyler Murray's phenomenal. All they got to do is give him Marvin Harrison Jr. You watch that kid cook. Tina Griffith, the flying wonderful. Kyler Murray's a bad teammate and can't be coached. He also doesn't watch film. Now, people say that. I don't believe that. And people say he's a bad teammate. He might be a little arrogant. I mean, the guy, listen, Kyler Murray, when you ask to a man who the best high school player in the history of high school, now you guys know how Texas is. Texas is the number one. Texas, Florida, but Texas has been routinely the number one hotbed for NFL players and talent coming out of Texas. There have been some great players that have played in the state of Texas. Adrian Peterson, Earl Campbell. I mean, the list goes on and on. To a man, people are saying that Kyler Murray is the greatest high school player to ever play in Texas. Kyler Murray, I'm telling you, man, listen, respectfully, y'all, all of the little rumors and stuff like that about Kyler Murray, you guys are going to sit up there and you're going to see if they can get that thing right with Kyler Murray there. You're going to see how that boy is talented, bro. Super talented. Clint Westwood, Kyler Murray is the best high school football player ever, not named Earl Campbell. I'm telling y'all right now, you guys are bugging, bro. Listen, I will tell you no lies. Ryan, what's up, nation? Just getting up here in the chat. What's your take on the straight out of Compton pictures taken today? You think there's something there you already know? Yo, I think that the Raiders would look absolutely foolish having these two men represent the Raider organization in the city of Las Vegas and not giving them the job. I would be almost floored if they didn't get the job. Now, when we talk about Ed Dobbs, people are saying Ed Dobbs is rising in his perception. I think Mark Davis is trying to get enough talented people in the building at the same time, i.e. what he did when he hired David Ziegler and he hired Champ Kelly. People were saying it was either or. It might be both. Now, I can see Ed Dobbs, and shout out to, my homegirl, Elite Med Staff. She's the first person I heard really broach this, and Graphic did as well. Ed Dodds being, the president of football operations, not the president of the business side, but being a president of football operations and them being kind of a consortium at the top of the organization. Ed Dodds, along with the GM Champ Kelly, along with ownership, you know what I'm saying, and along with Antonio Pearson, them coming and bringing their heads together. and then having the Richard Seymours and the Tom Brady's in the organization to come together, having as many smart football people in the room, and a decision lying on the lap of a man like a Champ Kelly. I can see that happening. Yo, we got almost 800 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. My guy, Raider Pace. What impact do you think head coaches like DeMeco Ryans and Ben Johnson in Detroit? Ben Johnson's not a head coach, but you talk about Dan Campbell. Ben Johnson in Detroit getting playoff wins has on Mark Hire and AP. I think it has a lot of impact, because if you're gonna make a like a comparison, it is going to be a DeMeco Ryans. You know, DeMeco Ryans is a guy who was a great linebacker for the Texans. He was up under the Kyle Shanahan tree, and he flourished. And he's a linebacker, defensive head coach, and he's come in and he's paid dividends. The thing about DeMeco Ryans is DeMeco Ryans was a very accomplished and really high thought of coordinator. You know what I'm saying? He was very, very highly thought of, being in that San Francisco tree. So, you know, yes, I think that you can definitely, and seeing Dan Campbell being a football guy, hard-nosed guy. I remember when both of those guys were playing, which is, it's crazy how old I'm getting, because I'm like, damn, I remember when these guys were drafted. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, shit. Shout out to the almost 800 in the room, yo. My guy, Top. You're wasted. Who do you think AP is looking at as offensive coordinator? I think, like they said, I think it's Kliff Kingsbury, and I hope it is, bro. Do you think Mark Davis does a disservice by interviewing candidates that don't have a chance first, than serious candidates on the table? See, bro, every time you interview somebody, it's never for nothing. Like Al Davis used to interview people, and he would pick their brains, see their philosophy, and use it against them, right? Or you might interview a guy, i.e., like I just brought up with Champ Kelly. When he was interviewing Ed Dodds and Champ Kelly, and he was when he went with Ziegler and McDaniels, he still brought Champ Kelly in because he got to know him. You know what I'm saying? So if you interview a coordinator, there might be some space for a guy that doesn't get, because there's only so many seats at the head of the table when it comes to head coaching jobs, right? There's only so many seats, right? So when you look at the seats that are available currently, right, one of them have been filled already. The Patriot job is off the table, right? The Seattle Seahawks job, I think, is a job that is probably going to go to a guy like Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is a guy that people have thought should have been a head coach again. Kind of had a raw deal last time he was. I think Dan Quinn's probably going to get that job, right? So then now you got the Atlanta job. You have Bill Belichick's name floating around that. And if they fire Mike McCarthy, you got his name floating around there. You also have Bill Belichick's name floating around with the Redskin job, right? And this job, and just the Charger job, I think the Charger job is Jim Harbaugh bust, right? And if it's not Jim Harbaugh, it'll probably be Ben Johnson, a young, bright guy. And this job looks like it's AP's job to lose. So there's only so many jobs at the head of the table. So some of these guys aren't going to get hired. And then if you're interviewing them and you have a positional coach, or you can bring them into your organization. The more talented, smart guys that you have at the top of the organization, if you guys have ever heard about trickle-down economics, I think you can look at it from that viewpoint. You have talented people in the organization, it'll wind up trickling down to your guys. Now, guys, listen. I got, a guy that says he wants to pull up. Do you guys think that we should have somebody pull up? Look, man, this is what we're going to do, man. I think I might be having a guest pulling up, yo. The show is rocking and rolling. Get wasted with your brother wasted. We got 800 in the room right now. What's it going to take to move up? Now, Darth Vader, man, look, I'm going to go into the histrionics of what it takes to move up. So, guys, hold on real quick. We are going to look. Yo. I'm going to Google, man. Let me look at what it took for the Chicago, for the Carolina Panthers. Let's use that, because we're not going to go back into the history, right? We're not going to go back in history, right? So Chicago Bears had the number one pick last year, right? So last year, the Bears traded the number one pick to the Panthers for a haul that included DJ Moore, right? So the Bears traded to the Panthers in exchange for 4 draft picks and wide receiver DJ Moore. So it was 4 draft picks. So the Bears received the number 9 pick, a late second round pick last year, a 2021 first round selection, and a 2025 second round selection and a player. So, the price was steep because the Carolina Panthers are the worst team in the league now. And I'm sure they would love to have the number 1 pick again. But they essentially, traded the number 1 pick in 2023 for the number 1 pick in 2024. Right? So the Bears, the Carolina Panthers got the Bears pick. You know what I'm saying? And then the Bears got their pick, which is the 9th one. So, the price is steep, but I don't think the price is too steep for a team like the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Stu is in a place to be, y'all. I'm trying to send the link to Stu. Stu, you want to still pull up or what, bro? I text you and say, yeah, you can pull up, man. Why the fuck not? Stu, I'm going to send it on Instagram, bro, all right? Stu, look in your Instagram inbox. Look at your Instagram inbox, brother. I'm sending it to you right now, yo. Hey, y'all, everybody in the chat, man, get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. We got over 800 in the room. Do me a favor, y'all. Yo, put in the chat, y'all. Spam Stu. Spam Stu. Spam my guy Stu, yo. So that joker will pull up, yo. Spam my dog Stu, man. Stu, look in your inbox, yo. Look at your inbox on the gram, brother. My guy, been bad. The Raiders should be exempt from the Rooney Rule. Due to them being the first organization to have a minority coach and female executive. I mean, look, the Rooney Rule is a necessary evil, right? Old school. You can't make a mockery of the rule and give the Raiders credit for something that was not, that was done a long time ago. The Rooney Rule is something that if everyone doesn't follow it, then nobody follows it. So I have no problem with the Raiders having to have the Rooney Rule. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sure that the Raiders have put a bug in Antonio Pierce's ear and they let him know what time it is, man. But guys, listen, the great and powerful Stu Swagger is in the place to be, man. Stu, what it is, my brother.
So I just want to say this. These playoff games, there's been a common thread, and it's been tight ends. It really has, man. These teams that have been winning with their tight ends. And there's a lot of good tight ends out there.
Yeah, it is, man.
And
it is.
I'm just saying that because it hurt for us not to have Meyer. Is it Meyer or is it Meyer? It's Meyer.
It's Mayer. It's Mayer. But yeah, bro, listen, I said that the pregame show when we lost to Indianapolis. Not having Mayer down the stretch was huge for Aiden O'Connell because that was his safety blanket. So a lot of the reads in the middle of the field were not there because Mayer's that guy where he can go in the middle of the field and get separation from positioning because he's such a big and strong guy. And you got all of these guys, they're getting more and more and more talented as the years go on. You're getting a lot of guys who should be playing power forward in the NBA that are here playing here in the National Football League.
Wasted, let me ask you this. Out of these games you've been watching, what team has impressed you the most?
Man, Buffalo's been very impressive. I'm not going to lie. Buffalo looks like that. And in Detroit, I loved what I saw out of Detroit. I love the physicality of the Detroit Lions. And I love the fact that Jared Goff is a guy who I've always been really high on. I love how Jared Goff stands tall in that pocket and delivers the football. He's a tough son of a bitch, man. I love Jared Goff, man. So the Detroit and Buffalo are the two teams that are very impressive.
I'm going to say Green Bay. Green Bay looked impressive, dude.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jordan Love looked impressive.
I've never watched Jordan Love. Guy's fucking good, dude. He's very good.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Stu. I got killed for saying that. If I do instead of going to get Aaron Rodgers, I'd go and try to go get Jordan Love. Everybody's like,
Jordan Love, the receiver 87, Romeo Dobbs is a beast.
Yes.
And then Aaron James, the running back, is a beast. And then Luke Musgrave, their tight end. Killed it.
Yo, shout out to my brother Stu. Stu is in the place. Everybody spamming Stu in the chat. Stupac Shakur, Stupacalypse is in the place to be. Yo.
Thank you, Clint Westwood. Thank you. Thank you.
Yo,
Thank
Stu, I appreciate
First of all,
you.
hey,
pulling
thanks
up.
for letting me pull up, man. I
Man,
appreciate
thank
it,
you
man.
for pulling up, Stu. You always class the joint up every time you pull up. in
No,
the
I
place.
don't. I don't
We,
at all.
yo, brother, come on now, man. Yo, listen, get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell it for the telephone. We got almost 800 in the room, right? So, guys, let me ask you a question, Stu. What do you think, man? And we're gonna get off of the Raiders, right? We'll come back to that because everything is all relative. The Raiders are the center of the universe for all of us, right?
Of course, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, what do you think about the Cowboy job possibly opening up? What do you think the possibility of that is? Do you think that the Cowboy job will open up? And do you think if it does open up, that Jim Harbaugh and or Bill Belichick will have a shot at that job?
So I don't know enough about the Cowboys. How long has that coach been there?
McCarthy hasn't been there that long. It's Mike McCarthy, the old coach for the Packers, when Aaron Rodgers and them won the Super Bowl. Remember Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been there a couple of years. I think he's been there about 4 or 5 years. But Jerry has always been routinely a guy who's wanted a guy that's a puppet at coach. It's like when he had Bill Parcells, when the organization was rudderless, and Bill Parcells had like Quincy Carter at quarterback and shit like that. Bill Parcells turned that organization around, and then Jerry had the medal. And it was the same thing when Jimmy was there. If Jerry would have left that team alone, he probably would have won 5 Super Bowls with Jimmy Johnson.
Let me ask you this, and when I think of Dallas Cowboys and I think of quarterbacks, besides Troy Aikman, since Troy Aikman has a Dallas quarterback won in the playoffs?
Romo never won, and
I like Dak. I like Dak. I do.
Has Dak won? I don't think Dak. No, they haven't won a playoff game since 1995.
And it said, if I'm not mistaken, and I heard it through this, they had not lost at home in 2 years. Is that true?
They were saying that. I didn't hear that, but
okay.
But you know what I'm saying? The Cowboys have been owning the NFC East, and they've been owning everybody at home. I didn't see Green Bay.
So what's the problem when it comes to the playoff with Dallas? What?
I mean, this is what I think, man. And I'm going to be real with you, right? I think that when you have a playoff atmosphere, you can't go chalk. If you don't have a coach who's aggressive enough to seize the moment and do things and take the road less travel, you're going to lose games like that. There's always that one play where you got to have the balls to like, I'm going to give you an example, like in the Super Bowl when Sean Payton kicked the onside kick coming out of the half. You know what I mean? Or stuff like Bill Parcells it being 3rd and 24 and running the football on 3rd and 24 in the Super Bowl. I don't think that Mike McCarthy is that kind of coach. I think everything has to be chalk for him. And I also think that Dak Prescott, sometimes when the moment is too big, he plays the smallest. And so I think when you have that combination, it's kind of the Derek Carr, Jack Del Rio kind of a syndrome right there. And everybody could say Jerry's the problem, but let me be real with you.
I don't think Jerry is the problem.
I don't think he is either, man.
Yeah.
I think Jerry has stepped back in a real way. He allows his son and Will McClay to pick the players. And
So his son does stuff? I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
What's his name?
Stephen Jones.
Really? Okay.
Stephen, yeah, his son Stephen, yeah. His son is not a spring chicken. His son is like fucking 60-something.
Yeah, I would say he's probably 67 years old.
Yeah. It's like the Rooneys, yeah. But Stephen and Will McClay have done a good job.
So what's the Rooney Rule? I heard you say Rooney Rule. What's that?
The Rooney Rule is the rule to it's the Dan Rooney Rule. It's a rule that the Steelers came up where you have to interview a minority candidate for a head coach or GM position first before you hire your head coach. So the reason why I'm bringing up the Rooney Rule is, and it has to be a minority candidate from outside the organization, because when the rule first started, people used to get, like, say, for instance, their wide receiver coach and interview him and then hire who they wanted. And they made a mockery of the rule. So to hire Antonio Pierce and Champ Kelly, they had to go out there and interview a minority candidate. Now they've already interviewed a woman for the GM job.
The Denver.
Denver,
right? Yep.
Yes, they interviewed the kid from Buffalo as well, right? So he's a minority.
Who's that?
I forget the kid's name from Buffalo, but he's a black assistant GM. They interviewed him, and they've interviewed Champ Kelly 2 times. So Champ Kelly's probably going to get. I think Champ Kelly's probably going to get the job, right?
Interviewed him 2 times. I mean, why? That's weird to me.
I mean, bro, I think Mark Davis is doing his just
I'm just
diligence.
saying, like, I mean, if it, like, what the guy's already there. If you interviewed him once, what's the second interview gonna?
Because I think that they're having a problem with the whole Ed Dodds situation because Ed Dodds is excellent. And I think that last time when they had this situation, when they, in their infinite wisdom, wanted to bring in a Josh McDaniels was handcuffed to David Ziegler. And I don't think that they would have hired David Ziegler had Josh McDaniels been receptive to coming here without David Ziegler.
Okay.
So I think previously they would have hired Ed Dodds too. And Champ Kelly was willing to come in the organization and be the assistant GM. I don't think Ed Dodds was willing to do that. So, I know better than me because you know Ed Dodds.
Well, no, and that's the thing. Remember what, 2 days ago or 3 days ago, right away?
Yeah.
Crickets. Which,
so, yeah, and that's the thing, yo. Everybody's
that, to me, that means it's probably not good for Dodds, I guess.
Well, I mean, bro, I've heard people bring this up, and I want to know what you think about this. Do you think that Ed Dodds can be brought in? Shout out to my guy, Johnny Kicknuts, with the greatest name in YouTube history. Dodds will be the president of football operations. Now, I can see a consortium
what does that mean?
Well, that means that he's, in line in the room because a lot of people don't have that. Now, you have the president and you have the president that's on the business side, right? And then then you have a president that's on the side when it comes to players and stuff like that. So I don't know whether the president is over the general manager or not.
Yeah, see, I don't know any I don't know any of that stuff. Like, I don't know as far as
because bro, a lot of organizations, they don't use that position. You know what I mean? And it's my fault, to be honest with you, Stu. I'm gonna make sure that no one's ever gonna ask me that question again, and I don't know completely, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. I mean, that's to me. I mean, I've been confused when I was a player, like the GM,
but I need to know.
President, I never understood the owner to, back in our day, it was Al Davis, it was A.B. Trask, it was Mike Lombardi, and I didn't know who did what.
Now check this out. Now, a team president is typically the highest ranking executive in the front office of a team. They're responsible for overseeing the overall operation of the team, including the management of the team's finances, personnel decisions, and long-term strategic planning.
So is that more on the money side of things? And
it's on both sides.
Okay.
It's on both sides. So look, man. So this is the thing. Hold on. Let me read this super. Shout out to my guy Raider Pace. I think after interviewing for the GM job and then getting hired as an assistant GM, and dude above you getting fired and the interim GM, it would be disrespectful to not promote Champ. Bro, look, I'm going to be real with you, man. At this juncture of the game, there's only so many of these jobs. There's only 32 of these jobs in the world, right? And if you're in consideration for one of them, whatever you got to do to go through it, you have an.
Wait. So he said Trask was a CEO, so that's a whole other position.
Yeah. Amy Trask was a CEO. Okay. So this is the thing, bro. It's not disrespectful for the team to do their just desserts or their just diligence. And if you don't get it, the fact that you were considered helps your career anyhow. You know what I'm saying? There are some people who was never going to have their name even thought of or brought up in that kind of an echelon. So to me, I don't take that as disrespect at all. My guy, Intel, in a place to be. I want Dodds in the organization in some shape or fashion. Champ is GM and AP is coach. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm going to be real with you. I want Ed Dodds in this organization too. Ed Dodds is a bright football mind. And the thing about Ed Dodds that I got this insight from Stu. Stu said that himself and Ed Dodds are diametrically aligned when it comes to the way that they see the game and the way that they evaluate players. And Stu has always been a guy. Stu has made me a smarter guy when it comes to evaluating talent. Stu Stu will find some of the most obscure things, bro, that you wouldn't even be thinking about, and he'll be a fucking 100% right. And I'm gonna say that with Stu on the air. That's the one thing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Everybody always is like, "Oh, Stu crazy, is that?" But Stu knows the game, bro. I never forget. I never ever forget, bro, when Josh McDaniels tried to disrespect Josh Jacobs and have him in a Hall of Fame game, and Josh Jacobs was running like a goddamn maniac, and Stu said Josh is gonna have the best year of his career.
And he did.
He did. The way he's running, and he called that shit immediately, bro. See, that's something that is novice don't do that. Novice don't do that. So for me, I would love. I don't know how it would be accomplished, but I would love to see Ed Dodds be in the organization
somewhere, right? Somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Now I don't want to see Sandra lose her job because she's the team president. Now I don't know if you can have
but Sandra works more on like making the
business side,
money, right?
Yeah, she's on the money. So that's what I'm saying. So I would want to see Ed Dodds be on the personnel side. So you can have people that are congruent. You have a president that's on the business end. You have a president that's on the personnel.
Yeah, let her eat, dude. Let her eat.
Because I love what she does for the organization.
I'm gonna say this: she has been huge in getting that team to Vegas and making that team successful in Vegas.
Yes, so she's an integral part of what we got going on financially, and the finances and the money are a really
huge.
It's a huge part of everything, bro. The difference between the gleam and the shine on the Raiders now is money. This was an organization people will avoid because we were running a welfare outfit at one point.
We were.
I used to have to wait till the TV money came in to make everybody's pay everybody's salary. People don't forget that. I've been in the Oco Coliseum. It was it was a great experience. But as far as going there and then going to Allegiant, it is no competition. It blows. I mean,
and you know what though? Forget the stadium, the practice facilities.
Yeah,
what we had and what they have now. I mean, that is huge. That is huge.
My brother Anthony Cabrera is in the place. This is one of my dogs, man. Shout out to my guy Ant Cabrera, man. Yo, JR Raider. You think AP is a Rooney Rule?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so, bro. I think that I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I think they did that with Patrick Graham. But the thing with Patrick Graham, I don't think there's any disrespect to him because the more times you interview for head coach, you start to nail it. So it's a great opportunity for his name to be even thought of as a head coach. Yeah. But with Antonio Pierce, bro, I think the show that he put on, I think people are realizing and recognizing what a guy like that can do, especially a team like the Tennessee Titans, who are kind of a rudderless organization at this point. Antonio Pierce walks in day one and changes the whole culture of that building based off of who he is. So I don't think that he's been a Rooney Rule guy. I think that they were doing their just desserts and their just diligence. And I think that Antonio Pierce is just waiting to get the job, to be honest with you, with us, man. Yo, shout out to my guy, Intel. Intel said, yo, make Ed Dodds the president of football operations and Miss Morgan the CEO. I can see that, man.
I'm cool with that.
I can see that, man. My dog Thor's in a place to be. Shout out to my brother Thor, man. Hey, so let me ask you a question, Stu. There's a few things I didn't get to, right? What do you think about the rumors of a guy like Kliff Kingsbury coming in and, being a part of his organization as the offensive coordinator and him bringing that air raid offense style over here, man?
So I know he used to play quarterback at Texas Tech, right?
Yes, he did. He was there with Mike Lee.
Is he with the chart? No, where's he at now? Or
he's with USC. He's with USC.
As the offensive coordinator?
You know what? Yeah, but the thing is that Lincoln Riley pretty much is the offensive coordinator there.
I got you. Okay.
But they are running a lot of the air raid concepts.
I respect him. I mean, his name's been brought up a lot. I don't know too much about him. I really don't. I think he's a guy that you should at least look at, right? I mean, has he been in the pros? Has he been in the pros at all?
Oh yeah, man. He was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals for 4 years.
Right. Okay.
You remember he had Kyler Murray and stuff, and he's been an integral guy in developing Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean?
So he's a quarterback whisperer.
Yeah. So that's the perfect guy to bring in to me. Listen, the air raid offense,
does he
man.
want to come in though as just the offensive coordinator, or does he want to be a head coach?
I don't think he wants to be the head coach. I mean, I don't think he would get a look at head coach. I think he has to kind of rehab his image as an offensive coordinator first, because he got fired from the Arizona Cardinals. You know what I mean? So he's probably got to take a step back to take a step forward at this point, man. But the air raid offense, man. Now I don't know if you remember that.
What is the air raid? Because is that similar to West Coast, or is
it has a lot of West Coast concepts in it?
Okay.
But the air raid offense was kind of derived from that old BYU offense.
Okay.
And what it is, man, the quarterback's responsibility is to call the plays at the line, attacking the defensive weakness. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They play it's an up-tempo offense, man.
Does that work in the NFL? Does that work in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of teams do that. That up-tempo offense, constant formation shifts. You got to have a lot of smart players. And the main premise of the air raid offense is to throw to playmakers short that can make plays and they can score. Now, a guy who
similar to Miami with
Tyreek Hill.
Get the ball out, let your players get it, and let them work.
And and that is similar to some of the ways that Wes Welker was used at Texas Tech. You know what I mean?
I like that.
I love it too, man. And then the thing is, when you have a light box, then you check to a run and you get big.
Pause.
Yeah, but but on the real, you check to a run play with a light box, and then when you have a guy that runs as hard as a Josh Jacobs or as Amir White, you get big chunk running plays. It is an excellent offense in the red zone, and also, man, it really makes the defense defend sideline to sideline.
Right? No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I like, and also too, you're protecting your quarterback because it's gone, right? Easy throws, easy completions. He's not getting sacked. He's not sitting back. There's not these long routes. It's hard to pick those passes off when you get rid of the ball so fast and then get it in your playmaker's hands and let them work. So I like it. I do. I guess I didn't know that was called. I didn't know that was the what did you say it was?
What, the air raid offense?
Air raid. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, man. I would love it, man. Listen, guys. AP wants to run that ball. AP wants to get guys out in the space to make plays. We have a lot of talented football players, man. So I'm gonna tell you something, man. Shout out to my guy, J Raider R, man, for the $2 holler, man. Appreciate you. Yo, Wasted, you are dope as F. Thanks for the content, man. Who you want for OC? Listen, I've always said, man, Frank Reich, and now Kliff Kingsbury's a guy that my guy T Severe brought up. A couple of people brought Kingsbury up. I didn't realize that Kingsbury was at USC. I didn't realize that. I thought that because I remember when he got fired, he was getting his money from Arizona. He went over to Thailand and shit like that. And, I thought that he was just waiting to get back into the league. So now that I realize that he has a connection to a Caleb Williams, right? We have a Champ Kelly in the organization who has a connection to the Chicago Bears. And I'm hearing that Antonio Pierce wants to bring in the Kliff Kingsbury. He checks all the boxes for me because he was a head coach in the National Football League. He is good with developing young quarterbacks. He's bringing in.
See, that's what I like. That's the main thing I like is developing quarterbacks.
Yeah, I love that too, man. Rick L is saying a hard pass on Kingsbury. You got to give me a little more context behind that, Rick L, man. But yeah, man. But look, bro, I'm for it. I want an innovative, young-minded offensive coordinator.
No, I do too. And I like what the Miami Dolphins, their offense, what they do, man. I really like that.
Man, my guy, Edgar Bonilla, Kliff did 1 year as an assistant QB coach at USC last year. So, yeah, but, Kliff was
so last year is in 2023?
Yeah, I guess so. You know what I'm saying? Or the last year. So, we want to talk about Kliff Kingsbury. We'll go back. We'll circle back. I said this about an hour ago, but we'll circle back. He was an offensive quality control guy for the first, 4 or 5 years of his first 4 years of his coaching career at the University of Houston. Then he got a job at Texas A&M.
Well, hold on. When was he at Houston?
2008, 2009,
Was that with that wasn't with was that with my guy Jesus, he was a wide receiver coach at Purdue with me, the head coach from Houston and then went to Texas A&M. Why am I forgetting his fucking name right now?
You're not talking about Lincoln.
No.
Well, let's hey, so you ain't got to rack your brain.
No,
Head coach, Houston Cougars football, 2008. Let's look.
The head coach, fucking
the Houston Cougars. We not talking about Kevin Sumlin.
Yeah, Kevin Sumlin. Was he there?
Yeah, well, Kevin Sumlin was there in 2008. Yes.
Was he the head coach? And
he was a special weight. So Houston, Tom Levine was hired by yes, he in 2008. So Kevin Sumlin was there. I forgot about Kevin Sumlin. So yes, he was. So yeah, so when you talk about that, so Kingsbury has a pretty decent he's a really decent resume and pedigree, man. He was the head football coach from 2013 to 2008 at Texas Tech. And then in the National Football League, he was a head coach for 4 years. So he has 9 years of head coaching experience, man. Look, he had an 11-0 team with the Arizona Cardinals a couple of years ago. They kind of crapped the bed at the end of the season. And I like the idea of that. I like having a guy on the roster who was a head coach previously, man.
What's his first name? No, what's his first name?
Kliff Kingsbury. Kliff Kingsbury. Yeah, with a K.
I'm texting Kevin Sumlin right now and just asking him what his opinions are on Kliff Kingsbury.
My God, Graphic's in a place to be. Graphic is now officially a member of the Get Off My Lawn gang. He is 40 years old today. Shout out to Graphic Raider.
Happy birthday.
Bullethead is old. Happy birthday, man.
What's Bullethead mean?
They used to call Graph Bullethead when he used to get mad and shit like that. When he has that all his stuff. Shout out to my guy Graph. My guy Bambino coming with the haymaker. Tom Pellizzaro. The Seahawks have requested an interview with DC Patrick Graham for the head coaching job, as per source. So, this is another reason why them interviewing Leslie Frazier could be big. The Raiders.
Kevin Sumlin just said great coach.
Kevin's great coach. You guys heard it here first. Kevin Sumlin. So, Stu, with another haymaker as always, man. With another haymaker as always. My guy, Wayne Kerr, we can't really get into evaluating players as much who our head coach and GM is going to be. Now, see, this is the thing, right? Tom Pellizzaro says they requested an interview for the head coaching job per source. Now, I'm hoping that the Raiders block this. I don't know if the Raiders can, because when you do a lateral move, they have to allow him to go in the interview. For him to be a defensive coordinator, they can block it. But I don't think that I'm praying that the Seahawks don't hire Patrick Graham because we need him, right? But that is a Seahawk move, to be real with you. The Seahawks have always kind of had these defensive head coaches, man. That is you know what I mean? Not a defensive head coach, because Pete Carroll's not a defensive head coach, but they've been a team who's won off of their defense. So I can see that. I can see that happening, man. My guy Intel's in the place, man. Yo, Jenny Castillo, happy 60th birthday, Gramps. Yo, I'm gonna call you back tonight, Stu. Kids got me busy as F.
What's that?
He said, thank you. Thank you, chat. They said they can't block it. No, they can't block head coach. They can't block head coach. Yeah.
So man. So Kevin Sumlin said
Amy Trask get back to you about who she wants as head coach.
She wouldn't tell me.
Okay.
She said I can't. She said I can't tell you.
Nanny can't block.
Wait. Sorry, Stu, I couldn't hear you. What happened?
Amy said I can't make a comment on that right now.
So yeah, but it's all good.
But I will say this: so Kevin Sumlin, who very good coach, was a wide receivers coach at Purdue when I was here. He said, so I said, your thoughts on Kliff Kingsbury? He said, great coach. I said, thank you. He goes, what's up? I said, they are saying he may be interviewing as a Raiders OC. He goes, yep. I said, do you think he can do it? And he said, yes.
Yo, you heard it here first. Kevin Sumlin giving his opinion on the great Kliff Kingsbury. Yo, my guy AC Zabara. Y'all listen up. These two guys are spitting straight football knowledge. 5-star content. My guy, man. Wasted. So the 22nd is when teams can interview coaches on playoff teams. Questions. Yes, it is. But the thing about it is this. We can have our whole situation wrapped up before the 22nd. And that is
I would like us to have that wrapped up. I would.
I would too, man. Listen, man. One thing about giving guys who are, on the property, the good thing, that's one of the reasons why I want Antonio Pierce and for Champ Kelly to get this job, sooner rather than later, so they can start on the direction of how we're going to move in the draft. We can start early.
And you can never start too early on the draft.
No, not at all. Chef Big Ange. Shout out to you, Big Ange. Kliff was a senior offensive assistant and QB coach at USC, not the assistant QB coach. He coached Mahomes in college, even though he underachieved with Mahomes. Yes, I know. But listen.
In college, they say that?
Yeah, because he was there. Mahomes played under Kingsbury at Texas Tech. But look, let me tell you something, man. He helped develop him, man. So that's on his resume. You can't take it away from him, bro.
You can't. No, you're right. You can't at all.
Chaos Raider. You guys are bringing other teams into this. Mike Tomlin stormed out of the press conference when asked about his future. Do you think the Steelers are releasing him? Hell no. The Steelers have had 3 coaches in the last 65 years. No. Why would you release Mike Tomlin?
Did you watch that game? Wasted?
I didn't watch the whole game because I was getting ready for the show.
So, to me, it was like every other play, someone was getting hurt. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? It was like every other play, a guy was going out. I didn't think they'd have enough guys to finish the game.
Yeah, man. And it was a cold game, man. A hard-hitting, bruising game. But listen, Mike Tomlin, bro, why would the Steelers get rid of a guy who makes the playoffs every year? Do you know how valuable that is, bro? You guys are crazy. Intel watched every minute.
He's been doing that for 20 years now, right? I mean.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? The F is wrong with you guys. And, let me ask you a question. Sacken, he says, y'all happy with anyone? What do you mean we happy with everyone, Sacken? What are you talking about?
Well, no, I'm going to say this. I didn't want to say it, but Sacken earlier said, y'all D-riding Stuart Swagger. So I don't know what that meant.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Hey,
yeah, he did. No,
Sacken.
He did.
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.
So lame ass up, Stacker. You know what? Listen, man. Let me tell you something. You mother effer. You don't ever come into my chat and disrespect the great Stu Swagger.
No, don't
ever. No. You will be unceremoniously blocked if you ever, Sacky.
And I'm not coming in here starting, but I ignored it. I ignored it.
Great, Stu. Apologize. The F. Be unceremoniously. Do I got to remind you know the block game is strong. Look, let me show you. When you see this, you know it's time. When you see the girl, you see the Kimbe. No. Sagan said I love you. All right.
Hey, all right, cool.
All right, okay. All right. Yeah. You only get one morning. Listen, I got my man Top B. High level of clearance in the military. That man is on the trigger for me up in here, man.
I love it. No,
I love it, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my guy
What
Sackett,
makes this thing fun is shit like that. Because listen, we don't take ourselves too serious, and that's the biggest thing that bothers me. Wasted is a lot of guys that have these shows and do all this stuff take themselves way too serious.
Yeah, nah, bro. Look, man, listen, at the end of the day, the game of football is a kid's game. It is a serious game.
Yep. No, it's a game.
But it is a game, right? And also, it is a love for a lot of us.
Yep.
It is something that we've, invested a lot of our lives into. A lot of us have played. I played this game. You played to the highest level. Like your whole life, you've built a life off of football, right?
No. I do take it. I do take it very serious.
And we do take it serious, but it's not the most serious thing in our lives.
No.
And also, we're here to have fun.
Yep.
I'm not here to lord over anybody and act like I know everything and you know nothing. This is an exchange of
And
ideas.
we love comments because that's how we learn, to be honest with you. There's stuff that you guys can tell us, to be honest. I mean,
that's a fact. Yo, shout out to my brother Ridgeback in the place, man. Shout out, man.
Ridgeback.
Ridgeback is the guy, man. Yo, if you're having fun with this podcast, subscribe to the show and click that like button. Yo, guys, I'm less than 200 subscribers away from
get them there. 10K.
Yeah, 10K. You know what? It's funny because when I got into this, 10,000 was,
that's a lot of people, bro.
Yeah, and I appreciate every single subscriber, bro. I really do. I never thought that this shit was gonna take off the way it did. And
I'm just thinking, think back in your high school, like your high school gym, maybe seats 1,000 people.
Yeah, I know.
You have 10,000 people.
And you know what's crazy about it? I respectfully, there are a lot of guys who have more. There's some that have less, right? But I would like to say that the people who are in this circle, right, are the most interactive people, bro.
Yes.
Like they comment, they support the channel, they come to events. Yep. They are the freaking best. We have the best audience up and down YouTube. I don't care what anybody says, man.
I agree.
People are bought in, man. And it's all real deal. We don't put no steroids on this, bro. This all natural, man. This is King Griffey Jr. swing. It's that King Griffey Jr. This ain't that Mark McGuire. This that King Griffey Jr.
Fuck that. This ain't Sammy Sosa.
So you see them numbers. Yeah. Them numbers is real. The real deal. Holyfield. A lot of people would like them to not be real, but yo, eat it up because it's all.
Because a lot of these guys have fake ass, like you just said, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire numbers. And
yeah, that's right. And it's all good, man. It is all good. Yo, hey, so Stu, let me ask you a quick question too, man. What's your timeline, man, for the Raiders getting a head coach, and do you think the Raiders should be like trying to move up in the draft? No, I don't want to ask you that because I know how you feel about Aiden. So we're gonna get
no. Don't come on. Don't fucking go there with that wasted. Don't fucking do that.
No, and I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you won't answer it. I don't like putting you in that position.
Question.
So if the Raiders were to move up, man, like, do you think the Raiders need to move up in this draft? Do you think they need to stay at 13?
So again, and Aiden, whatever, that's not, I'm saying I feel there are other positions that we need to address, and I don't think we need to move up to address those positions. I don't. Because for me, guys, I know we need another quarterback. I do. I'd rather get Russell Wilson than moving up and drafting the kid. I would. Yo,
I mean, listen, you know me. I've gotten cooked for saying we could go get Russell Wilson. I've gotten absolutely destroyed. And Stu, you know what I'm gonna do? I think I gotta let him cook. Let him cook. Listen, I'd have no problem with getting a Russell Wilson.
When it comes to quarterbacks, I want something that I know a guy can perform in the NFL. Russell Wilson can perform in the NFL, and he's not past his prime, guys. I don't think he is. I do not think he is.
So what is your assessment of have you watched any of Caleb Williams all year? What is your assessment of him as a prospect? Because some are saying that he's like the third best prospect in the last 20-something years.
He's and from LSU?
No, that's the kid. That's Jaden Daniels. That's the kid from USC.
Okay.
The kid from USC, they are putting him up in that Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck rarefied air. And I don't see it. Dog, I don't see it. I'm sorry.
The only thing that worries me is his size. He's
6'1". He's my height.
And when they say 6'1", he's probably 6 foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He doesn't look that tall to me, bro.
And Andrew Luck is 6'5". Peyton Manning's 6'6", dude. Like, they're fucking big dudes. And as a quarterback, what worried me about Penix was his injuries. But when I saw him throwing this stuff, I'm going, dude, your balls are going to get knocked down, man. You know? And if you expect, what's his name from USC? Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
If he's scrambling around, I mean, listen, kid's a fucking great quarterback. All right. I'm not taking none of that away from him. I mean, the guy's a fucking stud. He is in college. Does his game translate to the NFL game? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. I mean, listen, my man Thor said, yo, he needs to grow 4 or 5 inches. And that's what
That's
she
what she
said.
said.
Oh, bada bing, bang, zoom, Thor. Bang, zoom. That's what she said.
Bing.
Listen, I
Pow,
just flew
boom.
Chicago and my arms are tired. Listen, but Stu, he said, Q for Stu. What's your favorite game as a Raider? Darth Raider, I asked Stu that. I want to get through this Caleb Williams stuff. We're going to put a pin in that. And we're not going to forget before we get off there. We're almost an hour and a half in. And I think that my wife is going to drop kick me in the back of my head. I haven't really talked to her all day. It's Founders Day for my wife's sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated. Their Founders Day. Shout out to them. Since 1908, the great and beautiful ladies at Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated. It is their Founders Day. Shout out to them. It is Martin.
Well, happy MLK Day. Happy
MLK Day to everybody too. Shout out to the legacy of Martin Luther King and all that he's done for this country and this world. And shout out to our brother Graphic Raider. So we got 3 big things going on today. Our brother Graphic Raider.
His birthday, his actual birthday.
Today is his birthday. He is 65 years young.
Yep.
And, he's caught up with me.
65 going on 85. He looks terrible.
Yo, Drake May for the Raiders. As a USC grad, I'm all for it. Damn, Intel is going full defection on Caleb Williams. Now listen, Intel, I know you in here. Intel. As a USC grad, right? Because you're not a big Caleb Williams guy. It's a lot of people that don't really like Caleb Williams, bro. Intel, as a prospect, if say for instance, Peyton Manning is a 10, Andrew Luck is a 10, where do you guys all rank Caleb Williams as a prospect as a quarterback?
So I'm gonna ask a friend of mine. You remember a guy named Kerry Colbert?
Yes.
Played receiver.
Wide receiver.
USC, played a long time in the NFL. He's now the wide receivers coach at Denver.
Yes.
I'm just gonna shoot him a text message and say thoughts on Caleb Williams, right?
Yeah. Thoughts on Caleb Williams. Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up? Everybody got 8. Richard, yo, he hates Caleb Williams. Rich, you are crazy. You got him ranked as a 2, Rich? You are crazy. Come on, dog. A 2? Rich, come on, dog. You better than that, bro. You better than that, Rich.
What's that mean? A second round pick?
No, he got him. I said it from a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the highest.
Oh.
Caleb Williams, right? He got him ranked as a 2, bro. He's bugging, yo. Yo, my guy Anthony R. Hernandez. Jaden Daniels has all the talent in the world.
Someone said -1. Someone said -1.
The Desert Raider hates him too, yo. Yo, see, y'all think I don't be remembering y'all responses. Yo, Stu, I remember, bro. I be remembering like a lot of people's comments. Everybody thinks we have so many people. I remember this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I see all of them. I see every one of them.
I see him too. I remember it, yo. Listen, yo, Rich do not like Caleb Williams, bro. Yo, that shit is mad funny, yo. Yo, shout out. Hey, yo, so
hold on. So
yo,
let's ask the chat this: who is the best quarterback out of this coming up class?
That's a great question, Stu. Who do you guys have ranked as your top quarterback coming out of this class? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, Stu. There's something that you said about Michael Penix Jr. that I think we got to push back on a little bit.
All right.
I think Michael Penix, when people talk about his throwing motion, it's because he's a lefty, I think, bro.
Okay.
More so.
All right.
And all of these kids are trying to be like Patrick Mahomes. All these kids are trying to be like freaking Aaron Rodgers doing the sidearm throws. Caleb Williams does a lot of that shit too. I think with Mike Penix, it looks weird because he's a lefty.
Okay.
All right. Going to be real. It's like he got that like loop. I know you saw that kind of like looping throwing shit.
I was surprised that I'm just like, wow,
because when he's throwing, he's just throwing it like it's almost like Phillip Rivers almost.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I don't know. That's just my thought. I mean, you take some. Yo, when I got to get some all 22 on Penix. And I want to look. We're not going to break it down on air because I there's some issues.
You can't. No. We need to break it down, me and you, and
together behind the scenes. That's what we're going to do because the problem with all 22 with college guys. That's the reason why I don't show that shit is because YouTube does not like you to show college film.
No. Yeah.
They don't. So, yo, DeMarcus Webb says lefty discrimination. Listen, man, some of the best. My dad was a lefty. My daughter is a lefty. Both
really?
my in-laws are lefty. Yeah. My
it's lefty hereditary. I don't know.
It is. It's a recessive trait.
Is it okay?
Yeah, so my kid has 3 grandparents that are left-handed. Because both of my wife's parents are both left-handed, and my dad was lefty.
I'm gonna ask you this and see if you know this. Who is the best left-handed nickname that you can think of in not only college but pro football?
Damn. As far as a quarterback,
With the best lefty nickname,
I mean, besides Kenny the Snake Stabler, bro. I mean,
the hefty lefty.
oh, Jared Lorenzen,
God
the hefty lefty.
God
Rest
rest
in
his
peace to the hefty lefty.
So
Jared.
when I owned my indoor football team, the Saginaw Sting,
Yeah.
we played him in the championship game because he was playing for the Northern Kentucky River Monsters, and he was bigger than his offensive lineman. And I'm gonna tell you this,
huge, man. I remember he was with the Giants. How big he was.
Wasted.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember when Jared Lorenzen was at Kentucky, bro. He was a beast.
And he will take that bitch off and run it too.
Oh yeah, man. It's just, bro. I never could understand why he could never, because apparently he's playing a sport, so I could never understood why he couldn't get his weight. He must have had a thyroid problem or something like that.
You're right. I mean, he had to have been about 385, man.
He looked like
He was
bro.
He was all of 6'4", like 380, probably 400.
Bro, this is funny, man. My wife, Mrs. Wasted, she just texted me. She says, "Honey, where's your credit card?"
Uh-oh.
Man.
I've had that conversation with my wife.
Yeah, that's her. She know where it's at. She gonna buy some shit that we probably don't need. Shout out to my wife.
Oh, okay. So I thought, because my wife, when she's like, "Where's your credit card?" because there's some spending on that bitch that I don't agree with, and I'm like, I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, nah. My wife wants to use my credit card to buy some shit that she probably. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, so take it. I don't even.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, nah. Listen. That's what she for. I gave it up. I'm getting stuck up right here, live on air.
Hey, Kerry Colbert, NFL receiver, wide receivers coach for Denver, played at USC. Thoughts on Caleb Williams? He said generational talent.
Wow. I mean, everyone says that, but that generational thing has been thrown around a lot, Stu.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I mean, they're generational. If you're talking to generations, that's Peyton Manning. That's Aaron Rodgers. Like, that's the top of the top.
The new generation.
Yeah, he is going to be a quarterback of this generation. A guy like a Patty Mahomes is a generational talent. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is the thing. You know, you said, why does Stu always sound like he has no clue what's going on in the NFL? Because Stu is not a guy who just sits. You got to realize something. Players.
Thank you, Best Sparza 09. Just look at my last post I made on my channel and see if I don't know what the fuck's going on. Please.
Yeah, and I'm going to address this. The thing about players is we sit up here and we're watching the game. They're spending their life playing it.
Well, you know what, though? Also, guess what? I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
I could stand up here and say I fucking know everything about every quarterback and the draft picks and who should do this, but I'm going to say, what do you guys think? What about this?
Yeah, because this is what we do here. This is a symbiotic thing. You guys are just as much of this. This is your show.
Yeah.
This is your show. Bez, I appreciate that, but I want to explain that to you.
I say this all the time, right, Wasted? All the time. What do I know? I'm some fucking guy in the basement. I say it all the time. I don't know shit.
Yeah, right. And look, this is the funny thing, bro.
But
Bez,
he does, though, because he's got a suit on and a skinny tie, so he knows what the fuck's going on, though.
Well, Bez is a used car salesman. Let me stop playing right now. We are not going to make fun of this guy. He just is asking the question. It's because
I know.
Like, look, we're not going to make Bez. I appreciate
and the
comment,
reason
bro.
we're not going to is because he put the funny emoji. So he's yeah.
Nah, he a good guy, bro. He just
you're gonna get flamed a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. We got to push back on you, Bez. We got to push back on you a little bit,
especially with that pushback hairline he has.
Oh man, he went fully bald. Yo, you can't. He joined the Ball Brotherhood. You gotta leave him alone, yo. He joined the Ball Brother. I give him respect. Yo, my guy, Oakland R8R. I don't agree don't know how good Williams is or how good any of these dudes are because none of them played a damn down in NFL.
You're right.
But
No, that's
you're 100% right.
That's what my issue is. Like, that makes me nervous. It really makes me nervous because it's a risk. It's a huge risk. And I would much rather get a guy like Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, a guy who has proven that he can play in the NFL.
Yeah, and listen, Stu, there's a lot of people. See, there's a piece of that where I agree, but the thing is, once you pick right.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
You pick right.
You're right.
You pick right. You set your organization up for success for the next 10 years, i.e. the Houston Texans, i.e. the Kansas City Chiefs. And the thing is, I say to myself, why not us? Why not us? Why do we always got to have the land of misfit toys?
I guess for me, when it comes to quarterbacks, we've just never done good, man. I mean, we haven't.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like just
back
because
back in my day, I think I played with like 8 or 9 quarterbacks. Like, so when it comes to quarterbacks like drafted and doing this, it's just PTSD, dude. It's PTSD.
Yeah, and I know that, and I get that, and I know a lot of times, a lot of us have Raider PTSD.
Yeah,
we do. We're like, Jamarcus Russell, Andrew Walter, like, you know what I'm saying? Like no disrespect to them guys, you know what I'm saying? But they weren't.
None at all.
They weren't successful here. Shout out to Jamarcus Russell. You know what I mean? But
it makes me nervous. It just makes me fucking nervous.
Yeah, it does. But at the end of the day,
I know that's the difference between winning a fucking championship and not. I know,
bro. It's the same thing when I was banging the table for CJ Stroud last year. Banging the table. Everybody was like, "Oh, Ohio State quarterbacks are no good," and I'm like, "Bro, scout the player. Do not scout the helmet. Scout the effing player. Get the F out of here, man. The F out of here."
Thank you.
Yo, well, what happened up in here, man? Mr. Raider 42, are you Mr. Raider? What the F? Do you need to be Mr. Raider 42?
What happened? What?
I don't even know what even just happened.
That was about to be a UA. That
was definitely a UA, yo. Yo, my guy, Super Mario Universe. Thank you for the $20 holla. Keeping the lights on here, Raider Nation Unlimited.
$20 no holla.
Yeah. Smart football if something works. Like a play repeated. Smarten up Mark Davis and keep AP. I love how our show keep up the content. Can you please explain how to super chat? Wait, I got it. Get off my lawn. Thank you, brother. He just sent the super chat. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it. Yo, Samuel, is Caleb worth a risk in capital? Listen, bro, if I can get Caleb Williams, right, for a 1 this year, a 1 next year, a 2 and a 3.
Whoa. Hold on. What now? Say that again.
If I had to move up from 13 to 1 and I had to give up the 13th pick and swap with Chicago this year and give up our 2nd round pick and then a 3rd next year and the number 1 next year for Caleb Williams, if he is the talent that people are saying, I think that it's invaluable to draft a quarterback. Now, I'm just saying that if I can look in a crystal ball, right, and this is the question I posed to Graphic. I said, listen, if you can go back in time, you go back to 1998, and you knew what Peyton Manning would be.
No.
I'd give up fucking 5 first-round picks for Peyton Manning.
You know,
and that's the thing. Go ahead, Stu. My bad, brother.
No, I would go back to 98. I draft a homeboy from Washington State.
Who, Ryan Leaf? Ryan Leaf, man.
Fuck, guys. Yeah. You know, remember that interview when he's in?
Yeah, he's in there. Junior say how to get in between them and stuff like that.
How does he have a job at ESPN? What the fuck?
Who, Ryan Leaf?
Yeah, he's got a job. He's doing something like he's on like he's.
I mean, he's paid his debt to society. He's rehabbed his career and himself.
Oh,
so
fuck him.
You know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, at the end of the day,
go back to 98 and be the Chargers and go, we pass.
Yeah, pass. All the pass. But I'm just saying. But Stu, I'm asking you something.
All right.
If you know that if it took 3 draft picks to go up and get Aaron Rodgers, and you knew you could look and you know he's going to turn into that. Or if you got to move up to get you think the Chiefs are regretting that they had to move up to get Patrick Mahomes?
No.
I mean, see, so that's the thing.
But remember,
Aaron
Rodgers sat for 4 years behind Brett Favre.
Yes, he did.
I like that. I like that, but we don't have a veteran guy for a young guy to sit behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, bro, but there are some guys that that don't need that. It's not a cookie cutter way to raise a quarterback up in this league. Like Jordan Love.
There's not, but admit this. Every quarterback needs development coming out.
Of course, but the thing is, the organization has to be on the same sheet of music of how much that happens. Now, there are a lot of things that I see with the way they develop quarterbacks. One of them is, if they get hurt and there's another guy, a lot of organizations get that, they start looking around for the next fine lady. They'll have a guy like you hear people saying that the Arizona Cardinals need to move on, and if they're the number 1 pick, draft Caleb Williams and get rid of Kyler Murray.
I want to say this. From every coach I've talked to, they say Kyler Murray is the baddest motherfucker you could play against. They said
I was trying to tell people earlier in the show, Stu. I don't know if you saw that, but
I did not.
Yes, I was saying the exact same thing.
I'm going, he's too small. And I asked every coach, they said, that motherfucker is you can't, as a defense, you can't fucking scheme him. You can't game plan against that guy. They said he's from multiple defensive coordinators said he's one of the hardest fucking guys to fucking play against.
Yeah, I mean, bro, but at the end of the day,
I don't know what that means, but he's a bad motherfucker. Bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, bro, look, I'm gonna be real with you. For me, there are 3 quarterbacks in this draft, or 4 that I'd be excited.
Wait, hold on. I think Kyler Murray needs Rod Tidwell. That's what he's missing.
Yeah, I know, and he could get Rod Tidwell if he gets Marvin Harrison Jr.
Show me.
If he get Marvin Harrison Jr., they're gonna show me money, all right.
His brother in that movie.
Oh, Ari Spears.
Yes. All right. Yep.
Come on, bro. Come on, Steve.
I know. Okay.
Yo, my guy, Alan Rader with the $20 holler. With the goated picture.
So who?
Oh my gosh! Look! Would you just love look at the picture? I love to run out of line go like this.
I love that picture.
I love that picture. Go, come back on.
Jesus.
Double slap. Come on down. Yo, the kid is not mentally tough. Everybody says that Caleb.
Who is
Williams,
that? No, who?
He's talking about Caleb Williams.
So I do have an issue with that when he jumped in the stands and cried with his mom. That's concerning to me. That is. It is.
Raider Reese with the Caleb Williams picture. We know where he stands. Give me Caleb. Give me Caleb, yo.
Yeah, but again, what I said, jumping in the stands and crying with your mom, that's concerning.
Yeah, I didn't like that shit either. I don't like the nail polish and all that shit. Maybe I'm just
no. So he paints his nails.
Yeah, because his mom owns a nail salon.
That is new age shit. I mean, I don't like it. I don't.
Stu, do me a favor, man. Join the Get Off My Lawn gang. Right here, Raider Nation Unlimited. It is for guys of our age and older. The Get Off My Lawn gang is in full effect. We don't like that shit. We're older guys. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, this is the new generation. So I'm not going to totally condemn the kid because these young dudes do things differently than we did.
You're right. No, you're right.
So it is what it is. But how he plays in between them white lines,
I guess as long as his teammates are cool with it, I can't say nothing.
Yo, because he cried. Yeah, look, bro, I went off on Derek Carr because he cried.
I did too. No,
I went off on him. I hate that shit. I don't like I'm just saying I don't like to see men cry. Right.
Let me say this.
But I'm not going to judge nobody.
I have cried a lot. Right. But there's certain times when you just don't do it in situations, man. Do it with your homies behind closed doors. Like, cause as a leader of an organization, as a franchise, when you're showing that weakness, that makes everybody look weak.
And look, I'm very big on not showing weakness. I'm very big on not showing my hand.
That's how it was for us. Yeah,
I'm very, very big on that. I'm very big. You don't see me really tell people what I think about people. You don't see me talk about what I'm going to do. I've always been under the estimation to say less and do more.
Yep.
Don't worry about what I say. Watch what I do. You know? And so that's how I've always been. Shout out to my father-in-law. That's his main. My father-in-law always says,
Shout
out
out
to my father-in-law. He had a hip replacement. He's back up and rolling. He's a fucking man. Shout out to him. But my father-in-law always says, say what you mean and mean what the F you say. That's his main. I remember we used to coach football together and stuff. He used to say that to all the players, man. Shout out to my father-in-law. My guy, Marco Martinez. Y'all are tripping. Caleb is the truth. I've seen him up close several times. He'd be amazing for the Raiders. And I like Caleb Williams, bro. I'm just asking.
And you know what? Marco has a better opinion than we do. If he's seen him,
yeah, there's a lot of people, bro, that's from the LA area. They love Caleb. And it's weird because like Big Mike, and I wish I should have called Big Mike to get Big Mike on. Big Mike is a big USC fan. He lives right around the corner from the Rose Bowl. So he's at a lot of the games. And Big Mike is not a huge Caleb guy either. And I trust Big Mike's, besides you, Stu, Big Mike played. Big Mike played semi-pro, college. So Big Mike is a guy I trust when it comes to his analysis on players. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Damn, man, we've been going.
Hey, shout out to Daniel says, say with your chest.
Yeah, that's right. Say it with your chest. The F I'm talking about, yo. My guy, Big Poppy Azell. So you're telling me you'll give up the farm for Caleb knowing he struggled mightily against top 25 defenses? Haymaker by Big Poppy. The Big Popster.
It's a good point.
God! Wow! Love it, Big Poppy. Love it. Look, I'm going to be 100% real with you. For me, from what I see from Caleb Williams, I like Caleb Williams. I would give up the farm for him. And I think a lot of him struggling against top 25 defenses is because of the amount of talent that he has. And the disparity of talent in college is greater when you have a team that is like a freaking juggernaut, like the Alabamas, the Clemsons, the Georgia of the world, and everyone else. It is such a big leap. And I don't think that Lincoln Riley has done the best job with stocking the cupboards with talent there.
So I'm looking at Caleb Williams, and he's 6'1", 215, so he's stocky. He's got some girth. He does.
Whoa.
I'm looking at 30 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. I like that. I do like that.
Stu, I don't want to cook you for the pause, but we're leaving the pause Olympics in 2023, so I'm going to let you slide. I'm going to let you slide. I never do, but I'm going to let you slide. Yo, Top Beat, shout out to Big Mike Raider. You damn right, shout out to him. My God, Thor, if privacy doesn't permit itself, then you bite your effing tongue, you suck up them tears. Thor being a man's man. Shout out to the Raider Nation Drinking Club. I am a card-carrying member of that. Shout out to our brother Thor, man. Always opening his home up. Shout out to Thor, his wife, all of the people that be at the crib, man. Mom, all of that. Shout out, yo.
Always hospitality. Always.
Yes, man. Yo, Tim Chung is about to get unceremoniously blocked. Stu likes the girth. Noted. Yeah, shout out to Tim Chung, yo.
I said pause before I even fucking said it.
No, wait a minute. They cooking. Stu is getting cooked right now. Girth.
I said pause before I even fucking said it. So I preempted.
7 inches. Oh my God, yo, y'all are the worst, bro. You guys are the worst. This is the girth god, yo.
I will say this though: at 6'1", 215, I take him before 6'4", 200. The kid from that won the Heisman. Yeah. So you would take him before Jalen Daniels? I would. Okay.
Bro, you know what the thing too? That was my big knock on Bryce Young. Bryce Young he's short and he's tiny.
Tiny, yeah.
He's a tiny guy, bro. They're gonna have to do a lot. Like, and he's super accurate. To me, Bryce Young is going to have to be a more athletic.
He went to a pretty much lose situation. I mean, really.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's probably going to have to be Drew Brees. For him to be successful, he's going to have to be Drew Brees. They're going to have to outfit him with the talent around him, a good offensive line. He's going to have to be accurate as hell. Because Drew Brees.
I mean, think about this. Drew Brees wasn't Drew Brees until year 6, 7.
Well, I think. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Drew Brees was that guy when he was with the Chargers.
I didn't want to say it because everyone's
get
going to say, Stu, you're a homer because he's Purdue.
No, Drew Brees was that guy as soon as he came in.
Drew Brees is one of the greatest fucking teammates and quarterbacks you could ever want to fucking play with.
Anyone with half a brain could see that, Stu. Everybody can see.
He does make everyone around him better. He does. But I had to fucking
Elite. Let me ask you a question. Elite has a haymaker of a comment. Shout out to Elite.
She's always has good comments.
Yes, she does. Jaden has a frame that weight can be added to. Don't forget, Tom Brady's trainer is on staff. Yeah, Alex Ariza, the juice god. So yo, shout out to Alex. He's like, yo, wait a minute. Yo, Stu Swagger. That is Stu's. Stu had a fledgling porn career. That was the name. That was the name. Stu Swagger. Yeah, the girth master, yo. Drew Brees' birthday's actually today. So shout out to Drew Brees. Happy birthday. Shout out to Drew Brees. Now, listen, real quick before we get off the air, I gotta go.
Yep.
Caleb Williams is 5 pounds heavier than Daniels. Daniels weighs 210. And by the way, AOC is 210 too.
Okay.
So, yo, listen, guys. As much as I like Caleb, if we get Jaden, I'm throwing a parade on Crenshaw Boulevard. See, and this yo, shout out to Marco Martinez, yo. Yo, to Marcus Webb's talking about, yo, the Pause Olympics is in full effect. Are we gonna bring, yo, they said Stu Jeremy. No, listen, that right now is that I think Ron Jeremy in jail for some weirdo shit.
Oh, no, I mean, I that's giving me a really good compliment because that.
Yeah. We're gonna leave it there. But y'all, listen, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that.
Yo, so guys, look, we gonna get out of here, Stu. Yo, I appreciate you for pulling up, my brother.
Always,
thank you, man. And yo, y'all have a great night. We'll be back rocking all week.
I do want to say, hey, great fucking crowd. Great fucking crowd, dude.
Yes, man. Crowd. Everybody, shout out to y'all. Everybody, give yourselves a round of applause, man. Guys, do me a favor. If you guys haven't done so, I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, y'all, before the playoffs is over.
How many you need? 200?
I need 200. Get me there, y'all. And whoever's watching out there, there's been over at times in this live, it's been like freaking 800-900 people, 600 people still in here watching. That's been here the whole 2 hours. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Love y'all. If you guys aren't subscribing, you're just watching. It costs you nothing. So, but yeah, yo, that's right. And hit that thumb. Pay your bar tabs, everybody. Thank y'all, man. And everybody, go visit Stu's channel. Go visit Stu's channel. You'll get a Stu channel. Go Raiders, yo. Listen, you all know what I always say, man.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Damn right, the price is going up. And tomorrow, hopefully, we hear some good news and they give AP the job. I am out. Y'all have a terrific night, man. Peace.